This is Brady Rosemith live from the Forbidden Library, and today is my anniversary! I've been streaming for a whole last year already. Like, that's weird. That's really weird. It doesn't feel like that long, but here we are! Welcome Logan, welcome Luxin, welcome Boyd, welcome Lucas to some D&D world building and home brewing and concoctionary with fantasy. I'm Jake the 13th, hello! I have the World Builder's Guide right here. 1 day anniversary? 1 year anniversary. I have the World Builder's Guide here. I bought this from HMV. The World Builder's Journal of Legendary Adventures. Official D&D world building thing. I'll give you some book ASMR here if you can hear it. Book ASMR. And it has... Let me read you the blurb. This journal is your guide for creating the backstories of your heroes and the motives of your villains, so you can build a strong foundation for your next campaign. The 365 writing prompts for role players of all levels will help you invent new realms you never imagined before. So obviously streaming the actual book. You want to be an elf? I was going to say, if you guys want to make some characters, you can throw them at me right now. Because I was thinking, obviously streaming the book, like I said, is going to be a bit of a challenge. So I've made a OneNote here. And I've copied the prompts down into pages so we can go through each one, and I'll just keep adding them as we get through them. Except for this one, which is the party. Would anyone like to be part of the party? Because there are certain prompts that are like, the party encounters this, or the party encounters that. So I was wondering if anyone wanted to throw out a character, if you want to throw out your race, class, and alignment. That should be enough. It's not going to be... I'm not running a campaign here, but it would be fun for you guys to get involved. You can say, oh, well, my character would do this, etc., etc. We can just have a bit of fun. Make this interactive as heck. Okay, right. Let me rub out this. You're not welcome anymore. I got it. Right, let's get tagged. No, we're just typing. So we got Luxin, the Dragonborn. We got Void, the elf. I'm not able to join right now. Is later possible? Is that too much of a hassle? I mean, it's not whenever. This is just... I'm going to use your characters. Neutral Warforged Barbarian. Now that is an answer we need. Jake the neutral. I'm guessing that's true neutral. True neutral Warforged Barbarian. There we go. We have some characters already. You guys can become part of this. No, Warforged is kind of one thing. You'll also realize how bad I am at spelling. Neutral, there we go. Fate is actually against me attending your streams. Gotta go to work. Oh no, Logan! I appreciate you turning up, though. I hope your day at work is not too terrible. I got a scam call. What happened in the last minute? In the last minute, we just got some party members. We have 3 party members so far. And that's okay, we can always add more. Luxin, do you have any idea what class you are and what alignment you are? And Void the same. What would you like your characters to be like? Would you like to be arranged? If you're not too sure on D&D, just like tell me what weapon and I'll just throw a class in there. Tell me how they would fight. And then we'll go on to the first prompt. I think I need to move this. No, not you guys. This. You can't see it, can you? My little chibi's in the way. There we go. Neutral wizard! We have a spellcaster! Again, true neutral, I'm guessing? Let's see if I can learn to spell it. E-N-U-T-N-E-U-T-R-E-L. Wizard. Ranged and stealth archer. That would be a ranger, I believe. Or a rogue. But I'm going to make you a ranger, because then you can have a cute animal pet of your description of whatever you want. A party of no strong opinions. Indeed. Well, let's get on to this world we're going to build then. So the first prompt in the book. Let me know if this is too small for you. I can always try zoom in a little bit to make sure it's nice and easy and readable for everyone. Chaotic good, chaotic good. Chaotic good. Wonderful. Your dragon is a silver dragonborn. Good to know, good to know. We like these details. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So the first prompt in the book is to do with the black market. This is what it asks. Describe a black market in one of the cities you encounter, starting by writing down names, appearances, and personalities of 3 vendors. What are some unique, unusual, or magic wares they sell? Or what valuable information do they have? Right. So your party goes to the black market. They encounter people. Other people. And I have a cup of tea. It's a good place to start. A nice way to start. I think it's a good place to start with a world. Like, okay, so what's illegal in this world for you to buy? What kind of magic fuckery weapons have been banned because they're too awful for you to use? I remember something like this when Doug played D&D with his Twitch chat. You can do that with your Twitch chat? I'd have to... That's freaking Twitch, though. Twitch is so good at stuff like that. YouTube is not as smart, so we do have to live with that. So we need 3 people. I'm gonna need a name generator for this. Let me get a name generator. Random name generator. Random. There's a D&D name generator, if I remember correctly. My DM uses it a lot. D&D name generator. Name generator. Name generators. Fantasy name generator. That'll do me just fine. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have one of our shopkeepers. I'm going to roll a wee bit of a dice, and that's going to pick our race for this shopkeeper. What's the name? Yeah. That is why we pick it. So 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's a Gith Yankee. Gith Yankee. Is it going to be a male or female? Odds female. It is female. Okay, so our first stall vendor is Yonth. Why did I yell that? Yonth the Githnaki. Githyanki even. I've been writing this word a lot lately. I've been writing about Baldur's Gate 3, so I've been writing that name a lot. 3 vendors are King Burger, Ronald... Oh my gosh, we could do that. Let's do the alternative. Vendors. King Burger. Donald. Ronald. And Bells. Tack Taco. Are they the vendors? Because Belle's Taco feels like it's a store run by someone called Belle who has a taco. It doesn't mean she sells tacos, but she has a taco. Coming up with contraband is a hard thing if you want something unique. Indeed, this is something I feel like it's a page you would go back to and potentially flesh out. So if we're... I'm gonna go away with mine. We're going with the Burger Kings and everything like that. So, the underground fast food restaurant business, evidently. So is this a world where nice food isn't a thing, or is there a particular city? So this black market is based in a city where spices are outlawed. They are seen as a distraction. And the local religion says no, I guess. Or it has to be a very long or, because it's very important, very important. Spices don't exist anymore because the British took them all, and then we never used them. We took all the spices and then decided we didn't like them. I guess we should also time period and area to help with ideas. So if we're gonna do basic D&D, I was gonna go generic medieval for most of it. There is a prompt here called that I have named unique shit that will make things much more interesting. But for now, I'm gonna go just general fantasy for now. We can always tweak it later. I was also thinking that food has to be perfect. And the 3 vendors make cheap shit. That is banned. Because that low quality of food is literally against the law. I like the idea of a civilization on the cusp of advancing to steam power. I like that kind of stuff too. Not like a specific setting, but like something in between. Like you've got that Industrial Revolution is happening kind of setting. We could do that. We could definitely do that. That would be fun. So this is the fast food black market. Artificer type vibe. The artificers would be having all the fun. And with those kind of things, it's like the wizards would be starting to have an issue because the artificers would be starting to do things wizards would naturally do. So there would be a bit of tussle, I suppose, but you wouldn't be able to forget the old ways because D&D World still have a lot of magic and stuff that, you know, technology would never be able to contend with because it's very dumbass specific. So either the black market is based in a city where spices are outlawed. So these would actually be the gourmets, but because it's Burger King, Mackey's, and Taco Bell, I'm more leaning towards this is a food snob city. The magic versus not magic versus technology, but there would be a natural, not a clash. Clash isn't the right word. I love the idea of mech monsters like a tech beholder or fly. Oh, that's cool. Spices might be outlawed. I don't know. We're figuring this out, Void Dweller. We're figuring this out. Just that there would naturally be some clashes. That's all. Not like full-on wars, but as technology goes up, it would start to get in the way of what magic would do. Can't wait for Widgets to fly on Roombas. Yes. They could find peace. They wouldn't have to fight against each other for all time. It's just, I feel like that's a natural collision that has to happen at some point. Yeah, I like that one better. I don't really like the spices are outlawed, because with this, I was thinking about if anyone's played Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker specifically. I would try not to do any spoilers, but the place where a lot of the characters are from, Old Charlian, has this signature dish, which is awful. It tastes awful, but it is incredibly nutritious, and it's all you need. Can we add Best Buy into our D&D? I mean, why not? Why not? It's our D&D. We can do what we want. And they have that particular dish in Old Charlian because they're too busy focused on their studies to actually want to make anything good. Which is why I was thinking about this whole spices are outlawed thing. You could take that to the next level and have it, the delicious food is literally a distraction in this city. These people are so snobbish, they don't even want people to enjoy their food because they should be doing the more intellectual things and stuff like that. But I don't think that really suits when we have these as our vendor names. So that one's off the table. I like the idea of maybe doing the opposite. We'll take a bit more inspiration, I hate to say it, from Pierre. From Thingy. Sadly, a concept that defies human nature, or even animal nature. I mean, it's fantasy. Who cares? Humans can be whatever we want them to be in our settings, Mr. Clapp. So, I like this one. This idea that everyone's actually a really big food snob. And food that is not either perfectly crafted or nutritionally balanced is outlawed. True, it does hit you better if you can relate. That is true. That is true. But this is a wild city. I think this would be just the one city with the really weird laws. And the player party would be more like the actual people who you could relate to. These people you wouldn't even want to relate to. Kind of getting the idea of maybe a mind flayer or creature outlaws flavor or spices or anything that brings pleasure to keep everyone docile. That's it! So the back streets of District 23. Yes, that's kind of where I was going with it, yes. So you've got not quite eating people, not quite eating people, but people. So taco is just thrown. So if a taco is just thrown together, it's outlawed. Yeah! If it's not perfectly balanced and nutritional, then yes, it would be outlawed in this city. This is not the world, so let me just add a thing. Not the world, just one weird city. Apparently that's now in a box. Because we can just have weird cities that people go... Because you think in a D&D game, you want to travel to weird places and figure out what's weird about that place. And then try sort it out, try help. Or maybe just leave it to your own devices. It all depends on your party. For example, my D&D party right now has gone to a city where there's a giant plague pit. And we have done nothing about that for weeks. In-game weeks, we have done nothing about that except shop and fuck around. City law is world law. Nya. City law is one city law. In one country. Or this could be one weird country, we don't know. Which means they probably have... This makes... Oh, I don't read all capitals. This makes... Ilsod itself, I'm sure. Could do a crime ring of chefs that manipulate the masses of the town. Yeah, because I mean, no one's going to be able to make stuff at home with these. Let me write some of this stuff down, not just like, can I dictate it? Can I dictate it? That would make my life easier. Can I dictate on this thing? Insert. Search, dig. Office dictation. Oh, heck yes. So because only quality food is legal, a lot of people don't make their stuff at home. They have to buy in very specific meals and be able to look after them. So not only is there a legal requirement to have fridges and ovens, there is a legal requirement to have a license to even sell food in this city, which is why there is a big underground ring of stuff like this. Did that not come in? Oh, come on. You're supposed to dictate it. Dictation is not working. That's just sad. That would have been great. So what's the quest? We don't have a quest yet. We're just building the world. We're just building places for people to have quests. The quest would be whatever you guys would do when you enter this very strange city and town. Player party would enter this town under strict guard. I can spell. You would be searched upon entering and have any foodstuffs confiscated unless it just happened to fit in with the laws. Fit in with the laws. You would find that there are few vendors in the city who can provide food, and that not only is food strictly regulated, so is the preparation. Even beggars in the streets are eating the best looking sandwiches. Which to your untrained eyes don't look that bad, but to the people of this city are slightly misaligned. Or obviously missing a key ingredient. I can spell, I can spell, I can spell. Beggars, sandwiches, misalignment. Missing ingredient. Which makes them illegal food. Does that mean no Scooby-Doo sandwiches? Definitely not. Cheese would be, blue cheese would be considered terrorism. It definitely would. Definitely would. The inns that the party stays at serve maddeningly small meals. Except a note is left under your plate. If you want food, come here. There is a picture of a clown, a bell, and a crown on the card. I hope they have strong alcohol. My poison resist is high. No, their alcohol is weak as shit. Because alcohol is bad for you, therefore you have to enjoy it in moderation in order to enjoy it and have the best nutritional value. Wait, there are only 3 restaurants and none of them are Subway. Guess we're not eating fresh. No, I feel like Subway could get away with it. They're probably the ones that give the sandwiches to the homeless people. It's fast food city. I love where this has gone already. This is crazy. The party investigates. And finds the black market. A clown wearing a crown while ringing a bell. What sort of weird mascot is this? The amalgamation. It's too powerful and shouldn't exist. The BBG Quintus. Party investigates find the black market. Hi Chase! There are a number of stalls in this black market. But 3 stand out. One is manned, one is under 2 golden arches and manned by a pale fellow with a fuzzy red hair. Almost as red as his round plastic nose. The smell of grease and salt irradiates from the goodies on his stand. Chicken, burgers, and more, looking as edible as they would if a normal person did. I don't know. That didn't quite end as I wanted to. All foods must be entirely nutritious or perfectly made. Fast food restaurants allow us to introduce ourselves. Exactly. That's the whole city. Another is dressed in white. No, wait, that was KFC I was thinking of. Burger King, obviously. Burger King. Dressed in royal finery. His beard and curled hair is perfectly balanced. No, not balanced. Balance isn't the right word. You can always change someone to the colonel. I could just put the colonel in there as well. I know it only said 3, but I mean, we're not letting the prompts limit us. What's the point in that? My mother told me restaurants are way less healthy to be eating at than just making home foods. I mean, that depends. Is there a literal law where you live that all restaurant food has to be healthy? No! Therefore, it's probably healthier here. Maybe. Or maybe they're fattening up the citizens for something. Who knows? His hair is perfectly crafted to hold his golden crown. His burgers stand proud. Prouder than the rest. But everything else is lacking. Because Burger King. Burger King is just not... I think I know where one Burger King is. Every other Burger King I've been to is like shut down. No one really likes a Burger King. Oh yeah, that's Hungry Jack's. Hungry Jack's? I don't know what Hungry Jack's is. We do not have that one in England. And to be fair, we barely have a Taco Bell either. So I don't know what a Taco Bell vendor would look like. I think I've been to Taco Bell once in my entire life, and that was just a Taco Bell in a food court because that's really the only one that's around. I like the chips. They spice their chips nicely. Another was a cute Southern belle. So we're just having a cute girl, okay? When in doubt, make it a cute girl. Her... What about this? What about this girl is cute and she has bells? Hungry Jack's is an Australian Burger King. Ah, because of copyright changed the name. Naruhodo. Naruhodo. Cute Southern belle. Bells in her hair and bells around her wrists. Musically calling in customers to her wares of strangely folded wheat. Filled with meat and shredded lettuce. The chips are good though. Time to crit fail ordering food and somehow get everything on the menu. Woo! Isabelle from Animal Crossing. That'll do if you want to imagine her. Lettuce. Shreethed, that's not right. Shredded lettuce. So wedded. Shredded. I was missing a duh. Musically calling in customers. Oh, I would like to add delinquent delivery boys who just leave customer food in the middle of the road. No. You can have them with the other restaurants, but because this is an underground food thing, they can't have delivery boys being that bad on them, so they cannot do that. The party eats junk food until the heart's content. And content. And finds out the strange things about this city. That the food is controlled by the government, obviously. Who else? By the council, I guess. Council who import it from an unknown source. I'm guessing by when you say chips, dip, ice cream, and pizza, you mean crisps. The salad is raw! It's fucking raw! They export it as it is a delicacy anywhere else. But they don't seem to import at all. All these junk foods have been imported / smuggled in. I think I have time now, but I don't know how to make a D&D character. So we're not doing some proper D&D for this. I was just asking you guys to give me some characters So either you can imagine yourselves in the scenario, and there's also prompts later on, like this one that specifically asks about the party. So if you have any idea of just give me a name, give me a race, give me a class, and give me are you a good, bad, neutral person? That'll do. That'll do. That's all I need for this. I'm realizing being a Wards Forge is either going to be a major blessing or a hindrance. You'll just take the large sprite. You can just take the large sprite. Wait, they eat monsters in D&D, right? Then what would people consider as exotic food? What would they consider? That all depends on where you are, I guess. So the party would naturally want to investigate. This is a plot thread that hopefully a party in this world would get in there. I think my name will be Silent but Deadly. The SBD, I see. So the party would want to potentially investigate more. To do that, they would potentially have to look into getting potential party actions. Let's go with that. Potential party actions. Let's try predict what a D&D party would do. Let's see how that would go. Me just sitting here making a one-shot rather than actually just going through these things. Let's get rid of that word. I can't spell it. So party actions could be, I think the next port of call for a lot of people would be to maybe analyze the food. If there's someone in the party that is good with magic or science, then maybe they would want to analyze the food. So that way they would have to potentially either go to one of the restaurants, maybe they'd steal some, or maybe they would just go straight to the council headquarters, or maybe they'd try track the delivery routes in the morning and see where they come from to check out the origin. Can you actually use the name generator for me? I don't think I want to be known as through the legends as Silent but Deadly. You hate everyone and you want to wield a scythe. I don't know what class would wield a scythe well. Jig. Just so I know who that is. Wields a scythe. And hates everyone. A fighter would work, that's true. Fighters can do whatever the hell they want. And an elf name for Void. Elf generator. Female. Male elf names. Balquin. Minor. Minor. Kelro. Kelkas. Pedan. Any of those sound good? They just sound like I'm making random noises, don't they? I'm not gonna do this party actions thing. That would be where the DM would just have to start rolling with it a little bit. They know what this city is kind of like now, and they would have to find out. And I mean, all this could be some kind of elder god juice. I don't know. With this, depends on what are the effects of eating the special food every day. The special food every day. What's the effects? And what? It's definitely a slow effect. We know that much. So the party wouldn't be in danger after eating a little bit. Hello, pretty baby bear. Best wishes for a second year on YouTube. I hope so. Thank you. Balcom punch. Balcom punch. Punch. Which would be void. An undead race? Technically, I mean, I have a friend who's playing an undead goblin, but that's kind of because we've taken it from Pathfinder. You really just want to be death itself. Nyaruhodo. Madness effects each time you consume food. That could be it. So it's a slow effect. It could be you need to eat it maybe about 5 times in a row, specifically. That's why they ban everything. They ban other food because that helps get rid of the madness. The madness takes over at night. In the night. Not civilians, what's the word? Citizens! Citizens rise from their beds and pray to the dark god that is in their food. And pray to the dark god that provides for them, giving strength to the scary, scary being that is under the city and can make food. It could be a lich. It could be a lich. Dark god. Or lich. Lich would work too. Happy anniversary. Hi, Perry. How was your first year being stuck on the highway? Honestly, not as bad as I thought it would be. It's quite comfy. But I really wish I didn't have to work while I was here. That's all. I also haven't read enough books. If you could bring a sentient undead that can speak into court, would they be a witness? Are you assuming that this sentient undead is the one that got murdered? Then yes, I suppose they would be a witness to their own murder and the victim at the same time. There are a surprising amount of things that can make food for some reason in D&D. Who doesn't want... It's such a good skill to be able to make food. There should be law about adding wacky effects to food. Definitely, you're not allowed to tamper with the food in this city. So that's a potential whole ass adventure a party could go on. Da da da! Should we go on to the next prompt? Should we leave the strange fast food underground on by itself? And talk about some taverns! Oh, I had fun thinking about this one. The adventure has started. Let's go on to the next prompt. I want to investigate. Why can't I add hot sauce to my food? Because you do investigate. What do you do to investigate that then, Void? What do you do? Are we just going to run D&D here? This was not the plan for this stream, but if that's the way we're going, I can just... I've already just told you what... I don't even know what's going on in my own stream. Okay. This is not a D&D playing stream. Let's let you do something with your characters then, if that's what you're wanting to do. Because there's a prompt. The reason I wanted you guys to make characters specifically was because there's prompts here. I don't know what's going on, I'm just rolling it. Fair enough. There's a prompt here that says, think about a child who has been affected by the action of you and your party. How did you cross paths with this child's life? Perhaps you accidentally burned down their village, or saved the child from a monster attack. What is the child like? And as a result, how did they grow up? So, let me, this. Child. So, party members, you came across a child during your adventures. They live in a nice little village. It's not part of the weird fast food village, but it has some of their food because they're exported delicacies and no one really knows what's wrong with them. And if you eat them in small stuff, then you are not a problem. Okay, so you give it a balloon? There you go. Void gives the child a balloon. It is a beautiful drawing, don't you? It's wonderful. That is a very nice thing for you to do, Void. This child will remember you as that person who randomly gave them a balloon. Maybe you gave them a balloon because it was a festival day that day. And they really wanted a balloon, but their parents couldn't afford a balloon, so Void stepped up and bought a balloon for the child. Isn't that nice of you? My god, if the child lets go of the balloon, this could be a Banksy drawing. My beautiful artistry. So, back on Punch. Buys the child a balloon. And the child will remember you as the balloon person. True art, indeed. Much arts. Watch this, watch this. Art! Sparkles! No, anyway. Then you gave them 10 more balloons. Okay. Their parents were getting kinda concerned, but they were too awkward to tell you to stop. So the child ended up with 10 more balloons. Many balloons. So much so, in the next gust of wind, he started to fly away! Oh no! And where are these balloons coming from? That is a good... Are you paying for these balloons at the festival the entire time? What? Is the party gonna help the child that is now flying away because Back and Punch bought it too many balloons? Yeah, okay, you're paying for them, right. No one's gonna save the child? Balcom brought them many balloons until the child flew away on the next gust of wind. He's going to a better place. Okay, fair enough. The child was never seen again. The end. If it was a festival, then I'd offer the child a free ride on my back till we get to find their parents. Then I grabbed them by the foot and had their parents hold the balloon. If nobody saves the child, then I don't think the child will be able to remember much more. I'm just a skeleton in a fancy black suit and a top hat. And I hate everyone, so I'm not doing shit. Fair enough! So, Void, while you said, then I grab the foot and hand the parents the balloons. Who's gonna tell Anna's the kid? I would take into account that you said you would just save the child void, but I really like the idea of this child. He's just gone. He's just gone now. This child has gone to a better place now. He has gone to a better place. Well done. This isn't even a real D&D game, and you've done this. You guys are wonderful. Okay, Briny, why don't I give you a lot? I don't want to fly away. Do you want me to leave? Because, I mean, if you gave me a lot of balloons, this would happen. I'd go... Oh, wait. I realized that. Whee! Like that. Do you want that to happen? I don't want to fly away. I want to come back. No baboons. No balloons. Those balloons must be special to lift that weight. Oh, don't think about it, Luxon. Don't think about it. That's no fun. No, don't think about the science. Just think about how wonderful this child's life is going to be and how full of fantasy and adventure it's going to be now that he's flown off on these balloons. He could end up anywhere. It would be great. And he could come back. He could, like, land in the Fey Realms and come back. And then be, like, but he may be. Because he landed in the Fey Realm. And because of timey-wimey nonsense, came back as a villain with reverse gravity as their signature spell. Good morning, Snow Taco. Welcome. I also want to see if you could reach the ceiling of the Forbidden Library. It depends on what room I'm in the Forbidden Library. There are some that are so small I have to bend down and crawl to get in the first place, so I can definitely reach those ceilings. But I can't reach all of them. Some of them are so fantastically high, I don't think there's an end. Packing to go camping, nice! I hope you have a wonderful time. I don't think timey-wimey nonsense is probably the best we're getting on an actual. But as... How did that even happen? But as a villain with reverse gravity is the signature spell. I like that. You guys made yourself a villain. Yay! Right, we're going back one. What kind of taverns would you like to visit? Yeah, you'd be like, finally, I got that one book I couldn't reach. Thanks, fine. No, just ask the tea fairies to help get it. They're fine. They can help. Okay, so, wow, we have been streaming for nearly an hour, and we only done 2 prompts. So much for, I thought we might get through them too fast. That's why I copied down 10 of them. But no, we have not. This has been really fun as well, though. Taverns. Taverns. What kind of taverns would people like to find? I like the idea of bringing some more modern cafe style things in. So what about a baby dragon cafe? So you know, like cat cafes and doggo cafes, but baby dragons. There's a dragon mama that had a really big litter of little dragons. Litter of dragons. And they take a long time to grow. Kobolds I don't think we should be treating kobolds like cats. Tavern. Maybe all the taverns are linked to one central one. Like a portal to it. Linking each... Oh, we could do a... Like, that could be a particular branch of taverns. So let me write that one down. Teleport Tavern. The tavern that'll take you anywhere. Linked to every other teleport tavern. You never know where you'll end up after that drunken escapade. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Am I still here? Oh, cool. Okay, OBS had a moment there. I'm sorry if it came up a bit weird for you. I'm glad it didn't end the stream, at least. That's wonderful. We're back. Yeah, OBS was having a moment. Which is really weird, because this is probably my least stressful stream so far, because it's literally just one note. Thanks, boy! Thank you for coming! It was my OBS, don't you worry. It wasn't your internet, it was me. It was me! OBS had a moment. But we're back! Talking about D&D taverns. So yeah, I like the idea of potentially having it that the party can get really drunk and kind of fall through the portal, and then, you know, then you don't know where they're gonna be. I also like that gets rid of a lot of like an issue in D&D that you can travel. That travel time takes so goddamn long, and I have a GM that has that kind of thing where the world moves without us. So if we're traveling for a few months, the world is going to keep going for a few months, and all the things we didn't get to address will just keep getting worse, which is annoying. It's much better in like Baldur's Gate, where you can just take long rests and nothing changes and no one cares. You could just be in the middle of enemy territory and just be like, yeah, let's take a long rest in a camp right in the middle of this enemy territory. OBS making chill stream stressful since 2012. Yep, that's true. Morning, huh? Where is the continent? Did Dave end up this time? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. There's this one particular... You could... Oh, that would be such a... Yes, a hub area would be wonderful. So this would be a great hub area. And it would also be such a good way to be able to have reoccurring NPCs. Reoccurring NPCs. Because you could have... people that work there could actually be commuting from like the other side of the planet, basically. Or not the other side of the planet. We don't know how widespread the teleport taverns are, but they are... We could also think of a better name than teleport tavern. There's got to be some kind of smart name we can think up for the tavern where you can teleport, other than teleport tavern, because that just sounds really boring. Gotta be something fun. Sounds like we have some dimension doors to work with. Indeed. So this whole franchise of teleport taverns is owned by a wizard and artificer pair that figured out how to make permanent dimension doors and have researched how to spread them across the country. The warping bar stool. Oh, that's so much better. Thank you. Thank you, Snow. Wonderful. The dragons roast. Have a little dragon with a hoard of beans. Oh, that would be very cute. Just roast some beans. Baby Dragon Cafe. The dragons roast. Dragon with the horde of beans. He also herds cats because he figured someone called, no, not a god, a horde. Horda. What is typing? I don't know what it is. But he also has a lot of cats because he heard a person call cats paws beans once. So what you're saying is we can steal a door as a melee weapon and smack anyone that seems to be rich and sober. Yeah, why not? The only thing about the warping bar stool is it brings into question, if this exists, what does that mean for the wider world? Does it mean that this technology is already something with the wider world, or is this something very closely guarded? Do they have a sort of central point they own that keeps it all going? Exactly. If this is something that exists, then someone else has to have it, right? It's a very big corporate secret. Okay, but that means that if they have so many teleports about, how do they keep the secret? Which is why I'm thinking the actual dimension doors themselves aren't anything that special, but they are connected up to a central point that is hella fucking guarded. That keeps the whole system running. That is the most well-guarded area in the world. Literally in the world. It'd be a hell of a way to deal with an orc, just send them to a bar to get pissed drunk. I mean, that's a wonderful way to... Every D&D is made better by a drinking game. 100%. A boss battle drinking game is even better if you can get that happening. So, I really like the warping bar stool. 10 out of 10. On that idea, guys. Where did I put my graphics tablet pen? There we go. I wanna do... and then we do like a bar stool. Boop, 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 boop. And then that. Boop, boop. And then eat. No. And then we do another bar stool. And there we go, warping bar stool. Since food seems to be the main focus, would it make sense that the highest level of magicking technology would be used for it? That would be in that one weird particular city that people would do. The rest of the world can be a bit more normal when it comes to food. It doesn't all have to be like that. But we need more taverns. So this is the Starbucks of the world. You find one in every city, in every town. And they are, like, they're very, 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 very closely guarded. They actually turn off out of... portals turn off after hours. The staff do not control this. This is controlled at the central location. Central location. I cannot spell. Imagine there'll be a huge city of sorts in the middle of all of it. And Oh yeah, there'll be lots of cities in this world. Lots of cities, lots of countries. We can think of all the things. All of the things. All of the things. Oh, if I want, I can go high street as well and break in at night. You can't. That's why I'm saying it turns off after hours. You can't do anything with the portal at night. They turn it off specifically because dumbasses like you would try to get in. I know what I would do, therefore I know what you would do. Tis the way of things. I would... And like I said, recurring NPCs would also be a wonderful thing in this town. This has been a lot of brain power, you know. So, I still want my baby dragon cafe, or at least a like really cute and not least like cute animal cafe of some description. Horde of coffee beans, I assume you mean specifically by that, with the dragon's roast. You could also have it where they only work if you know the look of the destination. Not 100% sure on that one. I think it'd be more fun to just kind of... If you don't know the look, you can't control where you end up. You can go in and it works, but you don't know where you end up. Yeah, that gets random rolled. Should a player try to use said door without knowing the location they wish to go, they will be teleported somewhere random. I need to get rid of my art because it's getting in the way. Whether you like it or not. No, I don't want that anymore. Let me just I don't need this. I don't need this. Let me just get my pen back, please. Oh, select. There we go. Yeah, found it. This is getting messy. I imagine some diplomatic problems if the bar connects 2 or more countries. Indeed. A TARDIS-like tavern, a small building in a pocket dimension. Gotta think of it, or random thanks, pretty neat. Gotta think of it. How do they deal with diplomatic issues? Do they make under the table deals with countries to help them transport goods in exchange for ignoring their business? Do they? Is that how they get around it? Do they just have to know it, or will they have to have been there before, like Final Fantasy's Ethernet work? I would say you would have to have... Oh, have to have been there before, I think. That way, it's a fast travel for players, and they will still have to do some traveling the old-fashioned way. It's not like a cure-all for that. But it does mean if they need to get back to somewhere quickly, they can. Which I think would be very beneficial for a lot of campaigns. They just have to find the nearest warping bar stool. And go, hey bro, I need to do this. There's obviously going to be a fee for using it as well, because that's how they make half their bloody money. I can't buy it. Oh, the yawns. Anyway, what was the other bar, the TARDIS bar, TARDIS bar. TARDIS bar, bigger on the inside. Gotta love a TARDIS bar. It's a pocket dimension. Dimension based on the technology of the bags of holding. Bags of holding are checked at the door because no one wants that. Yeah, so we got the TARDIS bar. We got the TARDIS bar, the Warping Bark store, the Dragon Roast, cafe, and a cute animal cafe of some description. There has to be a cute, like, D&D fantasy and oh, wait a second. Carbuncle. Like Final Fantasy carbuncles! Carbuncle Cafe! Does D&D have carbuncles? What's a D&D carbuncle like? Carbuncle. What's a D&D carbuncle like? If they have them. They do. I assumed they did. It's D&D. They always have things. Can you add your wheelchair somewhere at a random? Would also say once they enter a town, the tavern would have major bargaining power. If they campaign, a whole army would be able to breach the wall in 2 minutes. They wouldn't though, because it's a singular doorway. It would take a long time for an army to get through a singular doorway. So I don't think that's the case. And as much as they do have bargaining power, I don't know. Just, if they ever wanted to threaten it, they could. But they don't. Because they just want to have a bar. It's a cat-like creature covered in vibrant plumage of a tropical songbird. That's a carbuncle D&D. I know a good name for a thieves' bar. The Klepto's Keep. The Klepto's Keep, where everything is nailed down. It's not a bad idea. The Klepto's Keep. The Dodgy Bar. Where the rogues live. Almost literally everything is nailed down. For a completely different tavern idea, inserting anyone. Not inserting anyone. A library bar that all the drinks are pre-made in spellbooks, and the mage has to serve a particular amount of people per day, or they'll be trapped. They're already trapped in there, and they have to serve 10,000 people before they can leave. A ray of frosted coffee. The Dragon's Roast. This one serves. Ray of frosted coffee. Very much so. Ah, nope. No. Ice R-V-E-S. Why did I put an A in there? Who knows? We'll never know. Literally everything is nailed down. Plates are nailed. Two are nailed. Tables. The place is bring your own mug / cutlery. Or eat with your hands. Two polymorph teas, please, with extra dragon spice. Oh, sounds lovely. Cold touched cappuccino. I like these. I like these. These are wonderful ideas. What is the other ones we needed to... You said about the library cafe. Library cafe. A strange little cafe where the proprietor has a weird collar. She serves books that have drinks in them to be summoned and must serve 10,000 books before she can leave. I go, waitress then. I'll do. I can't spell proprietor, why would... It's here actually. Proprietor. Proprietor. Pa 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 pa. Na 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 na. Ah no! I can do things. Sadly not at that point in library with a certain noble in it. Yes, blue coffee man. Things, stuff. I think that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've ended up with 6 taverns actually, and one that like pretty much changes the whole last world. So that's very interesting. Very cool. We just had the child and the chaos that brought. So let's go to some landmarks. What kind of wonderful, fantastic landmarks can we think of? What are some major landmarks that you encounter on your travels? Do locals tell tales about their origins? Write about how these experiences might affect you as you continue your journey. This is another one that like specifies you as a person, but we can just specifically talk about the landmarks and the tales surrounding them. So we could be looking at something like rundown mansions, old ruins, and things like that. But that's kind of boring. But it might not be boring depending on the history, because obviously the mansion could be vampire infested. The ruins could have been from a civilization striked down by a god, or at least maybe that's what the villagers think, when really it just died to famine and they just blamed a god. Or they think it died to famine and there was actually a god that really disliked it because the people were just like, haha, no. Floating islands! Oh, that's a good landmark. Maybe a mysterious floating island. We have flying creatures in the D&D and fantasy universe, so these might not be entirely uncharted. But maybe, yeah, some floating isles. Let's go a bit, Tears of the Kingdom on this shit. Ooh, a magic dead zone! Like some native crystals mixed into the stones that absorbs everything. Oh, you guys are so smart. So we got some floating islands. A magic dead zone. I was thinking like, a fixed up bot, so maybe found in the ruins of a house from the food plague. Ooh. Ruined village from an old plague. Rusted old warforged. Found inside. Oh no, it's Luke! Ah! Here comes the compliments! Shut up! Shut up! We're playing D&D! We've got no time for compliments! We're playing D&D! Well, we're not playing D&D. We're planning D&D! We're planning D&D! We've got no time for compliments! Shut up! Hi, Luke! Hi! Why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta come in like this and just like, I don't know. Be like this. Caves with randomized gravity every hour! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I like that a lot. Caves with randomized random gravity, but we could actually just have caves, shifting caves that cannot be mapped. So basically, roguelike dungeons. Get that classic dungeon going in there. Happy streaming anniversary. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it. I can't believe I've been going for a whole year. It's crazy. I mean, you can make a character if you want, Luke. We're not really properly playing D&D. We're just talking about a world. So if you want to write about a character, you just give me a name, a class, a chaotic good, and a race and a class. I think I'm sure I said all that. And you can just input things based on your character that come in. I mean, we've already lost a child to a lot of balloons, so. What if the island is chained down to prevent it from flying away? What if it wasn't always chained down? So this floating island, a singular floating island, chained down. It was not always chained down, says the locals. They revere it as a sacred place. They believe that it was pulled down from heaven. That it was a gift from the gods. Yeah, we're building a world. We are world brewing. Rivia. On top of the... So if we're going to go for this angle, how about an open mine filled with reactive magic-filled crystal and a ton of networks? That could be something maybe you find in the random caves. Magic reactive crystals. We are brewing a world. That is exactly what we're doing. Plains of mirrored grass, reflecting everything above it. Say a quick glance down and see a hidden dagger under clothes. I'm gonna put that on top of the island. On top of the island. On the island even, really. On the island is... Oh, how did you put it? Mirror reflective. Reflective glass. Grass, not grass. It is as soft to the touch as any normal grass. And trees that bear golden fruit. Anyone who steps foot up there has never been seen has either come back insane or never been seen again. It is believed by the locals that they go mad after witnessing the god's divinity. And those who don't come back have been blessed and collected, have been taken in by the gods themselves. I like that island. Thank you. That was really cool. I like the magic dead zone. And we like the ruined village from an old plague where our rusted warforged lies in wait. And I do like our random caves. I like the idea that the random caves are because... So, one of my story ideas that I've not quite gotten to write a lot of was called World Dungeon. And the idea was that it was a world where there are literally like roguelike dungeons in. And the roguelike dungeons are where multiple planes of existence all kind of clash together, making a very unstable and very chaotic place to be. And that could be what's going on here. So these dungeons are where multiple planes have crashed into each other and not settled on which owns the space. It means you could be going through a blizzard. One second, and then my favorite game style as well, it keeps it interesting. And then a lava-filled cave the next. Caps lock, extremely dangerous. That was However, what can be gained by braving these dungeons is a power source like no other. As these planes collide, some parts of their reality is compacted and crystallized. Reality crystals are very powerful and allow casting of magics and fuels machines that no one thought possible. Could this be the fuel for the warping bar stools? Teleporters. It opens the door to some weird and wild shit. Also, things can wander out of this dungeon. Things from other planes and other worlds. So that's a way we could open the door to potentially even having things that are completely foreign to this world just come in and wreck shit. We could have androids come in, not Warforged, full-on androids come in. We could have strange space aliens come in. We could have all sorts happen with this little portal thing. I'm glad you're enjoying the fantasy tour of this world I'm making up as we go along. I like that. I like that. We have two that are really pretty well fleshed out there. I like the idea of the magic dead zone as well. I don't think this one needs too much fleshing out. This is pretty self-explanatory. But the magical dead zone. You could also link it to the doors from the cafe being made due to their existence. Yeah, so the wizard and the artificer that made the doors in the cafes were probably inspired by these very, very dangerous places. So, the magic dead zone. So you said for the magic dead zone, at least your idea was that there's something in the soil that takes it away. And I'm thinking that could be linked to the caves. The magic dead zone could be outside the cave, be outside the roguelike caves, as that is the part of this world that is being torn away in the reality crashing inside the cave. Buried armory containing high-grade magic weapons, but all beyond repair without high skill. Some cursed. I mean, that's always something you could find. I don't think it's quite applicable for this prompt there. Instead of one zone, there are clusters that can be cleared. They could be cleared, potentially with the reality crystals, since they are literally like condensed world. But it depends what is causing these magic dead zones. That's what we have to find out. Because I was thinking with this, it could be caused because our world, in quotes, is losing vitality with these holes because it's fighting to get its world back from this encroaching other worlds that are flopping on top of it. That's not the word. That are crashing into it. So it's spending its reality to get that, and that's becoming dead zones where you can't use magic. There's no ether in the air. You could maybe use a little bit from yourself, but that's about it. You cannot sense the weave in these areas. Or they are entirely unrelated, one or the other. I'm not sure. So, like it could be a campaign plot point to try get our worlds disconnected from those caves. That way the world can start to heal a little bit more, get its vitality back. But that would also take away the portals from the cafes, who could become your enemies. This is a whole campaign we just found here. Campaign idea. Disconnects the world from the roguelike dungeons. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon type plot. Yeah, kinda. I fucking love Mystery Dungeons. It's such a good game. Because they are causing the world to lose vitality. It started with a riff on fast food. Why is D&D so great? Even when you're not really playing it, you're just thinking about it. It's just so great. Also, would the plants be different or changed if trapped within the dead zones for too long? Say they become infused with the thing doing it. They could become distorted by the other worlds. Animals could as well. Too much time in the dungeons in general, any living being may become distorted by the energy and rules of the other planes. Causing the world to lose vitality. The wizard and artificer of the warped bar stool do not want this, as the reality crystals gained from it are their fuel. As they are the only ones who have found a way to safely traverse these dangerous caves. But that is a secret they are keeping to themselves. Could make it an abyss, like where going into dead zones is taxing on your body. I mean, it probably is, especially depending on what race you are. Because some races are more connected to the weave, connected to magic more than others. So it probably really depends, like, it depends on what the Warforged's power source would be. If that's a more magical power source, because they are a magical construct, would a Warforged even work in the dead zones? Would they just kind of shut down like they've been hit by an EMP? I don't know. This is thrilling. We have made such a cool thing here. Guys, we have done such a cool thing. They would have to find some kind of external battery pack, I guess. Or have some kind of protected suit. You're gonna lurk, Luke? That's fine. You lurk, you chill, you have a good day. Happy streaming, yes. It is a happy time. I am streaming, yay. No, thank you for the anniversary. Congrats again. So yeah, that's interesting. Has nothing to do with that weird eldritch being, but that weird eldritch being from the fast food town could have come through this tunnel and could be from the other place. It could be something completely foreign to the world. Depends on the fuel, maybe, or a caster can change them, can charge them but use a spell slot. Exactly. Maybe if you can get them some kind of external power, then, or make sure their armor is up to date. There's something maybe you could do to seal their armor magically so that they don't lose it by just existing, kind of thing. They can keep it contained in their armor. If they do enter a shutdown state, they could be a corrupted Mega Warforged trapped inside, which would be awakened if it returns to normal. That's a cool one. That's a cool one. This distortion can affect all life in range. It is safe for a small amount of time, but too long in its range, and a person can be distorted by the changes in reality. This can cause physical, mental, and mental distortion. If a magical construct is brought into range of the dead zone, dead zone outside of the dungeons, they shut down. This can be avoided by shoring up, magically sealing the armor so that their magic is more tightly secured, but they do use power more quickly in that area. Feeling similar fatigue to their fleshy counterparts who will be flagging 2 due to not being able to charge up their own stores of. Now, due to the atmosphere being challenging in general on a person's body. Interesting! Fatigue. Fatigue. I cannot spell. Atmosphere. Okay. That's really cool. Guys, that's really cool. We have 15 minutes left of the freaking stream already, and that's really cool. I think we can leave the landmarks for now. Apparently we found like the main plot in the landmarks. That's cool. Right, let's go to someone you lost. Now this is something that, you know, player party's gonna have to decide. I don't know how this one is gonna go, but let me know and throw some stuff out there. The dangerous life of an adventurer is full of ghosts. Write about someone you have lost along the way. How did you deal with their loss? Who did you deal with their loss? That's not the right word. Pretty sure that should be how. So we know our Warforged lost an entire village. How did you deal with that? You lost a child because of the dangerous balloons. How do you feel about that? That your party member made a child float away with some balloons because giggles, because they thought it would be fun. How do we feel? If the caves would have powerful energy source, could the dead zones have similar counterparts that act as temp small-scale black AoE versions of the main one? Damn slow typing. It's okay, you can be a slow typer, I can catch up. I'm struggling to think what you mean. The power source from the caves comes from the fact that these realities are crashing into one another, and that's condensing them and crystal. The same way we would normally get carbon to diamonds is to crush it with a lot of weight. You get reality crystals by crushing realities together with a lot of weight. So how would a dead zone outside have a power source to be used too? If the reason the dead zones exist is because of the power sources that are being created in the cave. Say a discharged battery drawing everything in to return to normal. This is a good idea. Maybe that could be a kind of creature that's maybe a bit more unique to this world. As far as the destroyed village and hidden Warforged feature would be, it would be an interesting plot point to leave vague, or left to memory problems till time is right because of trauma, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough. We can skip this one. I didn't think this one was going to go too far. So let's just hop back to these landmarks for a hot sec. So in the dead zone outside, because I'm thinking you're onto something there, Chase, but maybe not quite the way I'm thinking. I'm thinking the world might have a natural response to this. Some kind of negative elemental of a kind. The only thing that lives there, the only thing lives there other than distorted creatures, because that's going to be a whole different thing, are... Oh, do I have a name for this creature I'm trying to think of? Names are hard, bruh. Some kind of energy stealing thing. I'm going to call them null elementals. Null elementals. Mentals. Called elementals. Classified as elementals due to being born of nature or lack thereof. Their purpose is to go out and pull in energy to restore the damaged world. They're like an antibody attack almost, like Gaia's mad. Gaia's mad, she's sending some babies. Class defined, class defined. And then they can become normal elementals after draining enough of a single element, and once they have, they return to the area from where they were born and attempt to return that elemental energy back to the earth. This slows the spread of dead magic zones. Yeah, about zones, but has caused others to appear as the null elementals. Have been inadvertently harvesting from the same places and spreading the null zones. Oopsie doopsie! It's not what you said, Overseer Chase, but you definitely triggered something there. We triggered a good idea. That's quite cool. I like the idea of those null elementals. Could make a pet of one. Man, this makes me want to get Baldur's Gate 3. It's a good game, bro. It's a good game. One of my main sources of income right now is game walkthroughs. I'm writing game walkthroughs, and I've been writing all about that Baldur's Gate right now. It's good. It's good. I think that's really all we can say about the null zones. But that would mean even villages might have fallen to the null zones. Like this Warforged that you're talking about, you might not have fallen to farms and stuff. You might have fallen to the dead zones. Because the dead zones are different to the distortions. The distortion is something that will mess it up. The reality crystals are able to show glimpses of other worlds and highly sought after by nobles and scholars. They are very hard to get their hands on and very rare. So let me write that down. Reality crystals are show glimpses of other worlds and are highly sought after by nobles and scholars. However, they are only the only people who know how to safely harvest them are the owners of the warping barstool. Which is how they get around all this diplomatic shite, because they have all the reality crystals, so they can just trade them. And they'd be like, haha, I mean, I know I have a warping barstool in your enemy country, but I do also have this shiny gem. That's how politicians work, right? What next? Don't have too much time, actually. We've only got about 5 minutes more stream time. This is so cool. I'm gonna have to write some short stories about this world, I think. This would be really fun. What else about these reality crystals and things? Also could have it so other worlds have already fallen to the dead zones, drained of everything, and then forgotten. And there could be some people from those said worlds who have survived and managed to cross over to another world to get to a safe zone. Some worlds have already fallen to their dead zones. I hate how much these dead zones kind of just sound like the Blight from Final Fantasy 16? 16, yeah, 16. But it's slightly different, okay? Some have even managed, some survivors have managed to cross over into the party's world for safety. I love how close we are getting to the city without directly references. Yeah. Haven't played it, so it's clearly different. Yeah, clearly different. It's fine. It's not like magical dead zones. There's no such thing as an original idea. You just have to kind of accept that in a lot of when you're writing things. It's just like, I don't care. It is fun. I'ma write it anyway. I played a lot of games of Flower so far, so they're all a blur. Fair. So crossover to safety. So this would be, so an NPC survivor could be a great source of information for the party, and they are probably a grizzled badass that survived the post-apocalypse of their world. The apocalypse, not post-apocalypse. Their world is in post-apocalypse. The apocalypse of their world. And lived to tell the tale. To tell the tale. Very cool. Now, that would also be cool, but you know what? A story from this NPC's point of view would also be very good. You could have, like, him trying to survive, him or her. For some reason, I've got, like, Cable in my head. I was gonna say from the Deadpool movie, but you know it's not, from X-Men. Information. There we go. Look how much we've written. Look how much we've written. Look how much we've written. Damn, people. We write lots. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. That's very cool. I'll have to do another one of these at some point. I think will be fun. Maybe we could do one every month or so. We can do a bit more about this world and everything. I can do some writing based off it. I think if you're going to want to see the writing and short stories based off this, you may have to join the Patreon, potentially. Maybe. We'll see how we go. What I find interesting is I have no idea what the tone is. It can be very grim, dark, or light-hearted, or survival. It's a good start for sure. I mean, it's that I like that if it's coming across like that way, because then whatever campaign you want to run in this world, you could. You could tailor it to whatever the players at the time want. You could have very strange fluffy bunnies coming out of the portals. How did we go from a child being swept away by balloons to this? How did we go from the underground black market fast food to this? I don't know, but it was great. And it was really fun, and I'm so glad everyone came to help out. Your ideas were so much fun. We all managed to sort of layer ideas on top of each other, and we came to this. We have built something very, very amazing, I think, in this stream. It was so good. I could not have expected better for my anniversary. You guys are so smart. You guys have such good ideas. You should all be writers too. It'll be great. But that is unfortunately all I have for you today. I do have to stop. If you would like to continue supporting me, please leave a like on the video and subscribe. That would be lovely. And I think we could do a part 2 of this if we wanted. We can. I'm glad I could provide the Warping Bastard. It's a very good name. A wonderful name. We can definitely do a part 2. I'm thinking of trying to like vary my streams up a little bit more. So I'm happy to do this again. So, but next week will probably be normal though. What was I gonna say? Thanks for brewing and congrats, yeah! 1 whole anniversary! Woo, woo, woo! Hopefully many more to come. I was gonna say, if you'd like to support me with money, there's the Kofi and there's the Patreon. There's also links to my books and things in the description. Go click all the links. They go to cool places and you'll like some. The day is set to random streams. Yes. I won't have a day set to random streams, but I've thought from here on in I'd like my Fridays to only be Higurashi one like every fortnight. And then that way it gives me a stream once every 2 weeks that I can just do something different if I feel like it. I can do something like this. I could play a short game. I could just write something. We could just chat. It gives me a bit more freedom to figure out, like, to try new stuff if I fancy it. We could do a drawing one. I want to do a drawing one because I still need to do a lot of emotes and things for the Discord. And I could do that on stream. That would be fun. I'm not, as you can see by my art here, I'm not the greatest of artists, but you know, I'm passable. It's passable art I can do. This is so passable. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. If you'd like to catch me again, I will be back on Sunday and we will be reading One for the Road again. We'll probably be getting near the end, to be honest. So that's exciting. Thank you, everyone in the chat. We're getting to a point where there's so many people in the chat where it's hard to shout you out specifically now. But thank you everyone who has been in the chat. Thank you to anyone who lurked, and thank you to anyone who watches the VOD. Perfectly reasonable. Don't discount your art. I appreciate it, Jake. I appreciate it. I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Briny Rose Smith, live from the Forbidden Library. Goodbye. Where's my goodbye screen? Oh, there it is.